Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Shalissa. I'm here, but I'm about to be in a meeting all at the same time. Just make sure you're not, pay attention to your meeting, girl. But good morning to you. Um, this morning, my day ain't starting off. It ain't never. When you're getting ready to, when you got plans, you done planned your day and everything. But I'm over here, and of course, y'all can see by the plants. But oh, okay then. It'll start at 9:30. But I don't know if y'all can see little Pam right here, um, acting weird this morning. So um, I'm giving her some special attention this morning. She acting like she don't got no energy or none of that. So I got her. She under heat right now to seeing if the heat uh perk her up a little bit more. Um, she seemed to be getting a little bit more better. I done gave her some water, and she trying to be feisty and everything right now. She up and alert, more alert than she was earlier. But I woke up to her acting like she wanted to check out on us this morning. So, all right, I know that's right, little Pam. Get yourself together. We ain't got no time for that. So I'm supposed to be out in the garden, um, planting these peanuts because I done had them soaking now for um 2 days, 3 days now. So I took them out of the water um yesterday, last night, and just put them in a strainer and rinse them off real good. So as soon as I finish in here doctoring up on little Pam, then we'll go out there and tend to that. But in the meantime, in between time, let me show y'all what our plants looking like on the inside. Y'all see the squash and zucchini down there? It's looking pretty good so far. Um, these are grow light babies. Where we gonna continue to grow our squash and zucchini in here, and we growing baby chicks too. But yeah, this our squash and zucchini. I don't like the way the potato looking so far. It's still growing or whatever. I'm used to like a different color foliage or whatever. But I feel like I don't have enough grow lights, so I'm gonna be adding more grow lights to my to my situation real soon. They've already been ordered and they are on the way. But other than that, everything out here, everything in here is oh, I don't know what let me I'm in here pressing on buttons and stuff. No, I don't be knowing nothing about none of that. But yeah, right now we just in here baby and little Pam for a minute to get her back together. And she a little drunk there. So we gotta get her together this morning, and then we'll head out to the garden and get these peanuts put down that we've been saying that we're gonna get down forever and a day. But I'm gonna tell y'all about the question that been going on in my mind a lot because we hit on it just a little bit the other day that some of my old stories. And sometimes I said that I feel like I forgive somebody for something. But how do you know you really forgiving them? And then I read a little snippets of someone's book yesterday, and also had been into the comments again up under one of my videos. So one of the questions I had in my mind was, if something traumatic happens to you and you forgive someone for what they did, does that mean that you can't talk about it? Does that mean that you can't talk about it? And if a person says to the person that did the offense to you, I forgive you, should that person be expecting that this person ain't gonna never talk about that again? And I just know, for the things that happened to me, I wasn't allowed to talk about it. And I'll say, I'll take that and say, up around till I was about 18 years old, I felt like um I wasn't allowed. And if you know what I mean, like you're a kid or whatever stuff is happening to you, you're allowed to do certain things when you're a kid. So I'll say I'll start to take accountability for it for like 19 years old, because at this point, like, um yes, I'm older, I can talk, but I'm still around a lot of the people. So at this point in my life, I'm learning how to open up my mouth and say little things, but it's a scary thing. So now that I'm where I am now, and there is no fear of talking, and I may feel like I forgive you, and you may think that I've forgiven you, but that mean that I'm not allowed to talk about it? And I'm not asking me. I'm asking you all, because if you feel like something traumatic has happened to you, um and you need to talk about it, I feel like you should be able to talk about it. Um can you make someone hear you? No, but you can find somebody who is willing to hear you out. And so my suggestion is, for the ones that don't want to hear you out, move away from them and talk to ones who won't. But do I think you should be able to tell your story and talk about it? I absolutely do. Do the person that committed the offense, no matter what it is, sometimes you have to sit in, you have to harvest that seed that you planted. You know what I mean? You gotta go and pick those fruit. hmm So okay, well, you definitely waking it up, huh? Good morning, Angel. How you doing this morning? This morning we woke up to a little one here acting like she don't want to be with us no more. So she getting a little bit of special attention. This little Miss Pam here that's showing up. She perking up though. Um and I think what happened is it was a little bit more cooler than it has been last night. And I did not have light on them, so I think she was feeling the effects of being too cool. So she is being warmed up right now. And if you look at the beginning of the video, you can see where she was acting real slow and didn't want to move around, and now she getting her groove on. So we gotta keep our eye on Pam. We supposed to be out in the garden this morning already, but we in here doctoring on little Pam this morning. Hope everything's going good in your day so far. But this morning, what I was talking about was if something traumatic happens to you, if you say you forgive them or if it happened a long time ago, because it seems like everybody done got over it. But if you're the one that it happened to, should you stop talking about it because it happened so long ago? Me, myself, things happened to me when I was little. And I was scared to talk about them for a long time. All throughout my younger years, my teenage years, and part of my adult years. But then I gradually got to a place of talking, and now I'm on here talking to any and everybody who willing to open their ears and listen. So y'all already know what my opinion is. Yes, you're allowed to talk about it, and I'm sure the people who committed the offense doesn't want you to bring it back up because for them it's a not so good feeling. But if you're the one that it happened to, You trying to look for that feel good feeling of I need to get this on the outside of me and say it out here. So I do believe that um if it's helping you to get it out, talk about it, put it out there. Hey, little Pam. Yeah, she definitely doing more moving around than she was when I first came out here this morning. So she doing a lot better now. She getting up, walking around. Good morning, Selena. um, but Selena, this morning, my conversation is if something traumatic happened to you, um, is there a point where someone can tell you you shouldn't keep talking about it, especially the ones that committed the offense against you? I've never had anyone that tell. I've had people that want me to shut up. Definitely have had that, but have them actually say it to me to shut up. No, but I do have other people that like be around me when I'm talking about certain things. And I think because they're uncomfortable with what I'm about to say, even though they don't have anything to do with it, um, it can it can be an uncomfortable thing. And everybody will be like, there'll be certain people in the room and they'll be like, do we have to talk about this? You know, and sometimes it feels like all your the consideration for you and what you going through. Ain't nobody considered that. It's just let me make her be quiet because we're uncomfortable. I say, free your mind and the rest will follow. Ooh. But then too is there's some people, there's a couple of different sides of it. And even in a conversation, I think we're talking to somebody, I'm not going to change. I still wouldn't change my position. I would still keep talking about it. I would still keep talking about it over and over again, especially if when you first telling your story, you telling it from a point of view where you're in tears and everything. Those tears mean healing, even though, and I heard Selena say this the other day. Sometimes you feel like crying is a sign of weakness. That's definitely me. So, um, until I submitted to the process of I'm going to come here and I'm gonna cry in front of the whole world. Yes, it was absolutely embarrassing for me, but I feel like too, the more of those tears that I was able to cry, the better I began to feel, and especially about healing from those things before. So I feel like every time you get more of it on the outside of you, you absolutely feel better. So I say, talk on, baby. You want a piece of grass? No, you don't want that yet. Now you chirping up something right now. Good morning, game over. Well, this is not originally what I'm supposed to be doing, but huh, while I'm in this position, I figure I might as well clean the plants out we got growing up under the grow light because we came in here to the little baby chickpea. But I was just talking about when certain situations happen to you and it's your story to tell. Is there a point when you should shut up about your story or what happened to you? What happened to you? Because there's people in the room uncomfortable about the things you talking about. Good morning, Moon Queen. Um, and I know how I feel about the situation. At this point in my life, I feel like nobody ain't gonna be able to shut me up. Um, and for one thing, too, everything ain't coming out and pouring out all at the same time. I'm releasing stuff little bit by little bit as I feel comfortable about letting it go. Sometimes it's like I because I'm trying to feel where my comfortability is. So I'll talk to probably 5 or 6 people in my real everyday life about it before I come on here and say anything to you all about it. Um, just so I can feel how I'm gonna feel letting it go, and am I ready to do that yet? But then there's other times that I move on impulse. I'm just on here and I click the button and whatever come out, that's what coming out for today. So, and I feel like it's just like with our bodies. Whatever we put in there, it gotta come out and it's gonna cause an effect one way or the other. It's gonna be a good one or a bad one. So, I feel like if bad things been put on the inside of you, they gotta come out. So, but that's just my opinion. Then we might get somebody that say, "Yeah, you need to shut up. We tired of hearing you talk about it." But then again, I say it too. If they tired of hearing you talk about it, maybe they need to go somewhere else to get from around you, or you need to start talking to people who interested in hearing your story. But is it time for you to be quiet, or is it time for you to start talking? And you know what? They always got this thing of, if you ever notice a person that tell the truth, that person may be you. If you a truth teller, then okay, then she trying to eat some grass and stuff. If you're a truth teller, then usually you're the one that you sit in the room and the conversation is going, and everybody in there wants you to shut up. They don't want you to keep talking about the things that happen. I'm trying to get it to you right here, girl. Right here. Mm. They want you to be quiet. Stop talking about that, girl. Talk about something else. Mm-mm. It's time I want to talk about this right now. Okay, let me see. You want water? All right, she trying to drink some water. Good morning, Miss Coffee. Good morning. This morning we woke up to Miss Pam over here acting like she wanted to check out on us this morning. So I think the temperatures got a little bit too cool for her. Um and I didn't turn on the heat lamp. But she coming back to in the beginning of the video. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't show my people this. But now this is life with Tashana. So this life be life. And so I was like, let me turn the camera on, let them show us, because sometimes these are the things that you see happen with the chicks and stuff. Sometimes they all don't make it. And we haven't had too many of those, but you know, it's life, so I ain't gonna hide it. So, but we was talking about, should you shut up? Should you stop talking about what happened to you? And I know that ain't gonna be me no time soon, because sometimes things happen to you when you're little and you ain't free and comfortable to talk about those things then, but there'll become a space in your life when you're ready to talk about it, and who can tell you at that point to shut up and be quiet about it? I've left many of rooms in these past 5 years because what I got to say about what happened to me, everybody don't want to hear it, and it ain't for everybody. But the one thing that I know I gotta do is get it up out of me. So I don't have no problems with anybody telling what their truth is. Golly. Yeah, Pam looking all perky and stuff now. She looking a whole lot better, because this morning I'm supposed to be out there, because yesterday I didn't get to do my peanuts. So I was heading back there to go and do that, and got sidetracked by little Pam. Not oh, she trying to jump out of the bowl now. Uh-uh. Pam was trying to jump out the bowl just then. You better stay in there, girl. You better stay in there. Yeah, but like I was saying, for me, I've gotten up and I've left plenty of rooms at certain points, because the people there didn't want to hear what I had to say, or they was trying to make me be quiet. But I also too understood that, especially if it got something to do with your family, which most of all of my stuff had to do with everything with my family. How do you when you everything that you did in the way that you did it was in thought of everybody else before, and now you trying to consider yourself and everybody wants you to be quiet? It's like, so I left a lot of rooms because people didn't want to hear me. Now I don't leave rooms. I don't leave rooms. The people that's uncomfortable usually get up and walk out now, or I just finish saying what I'm saying and leave it alone at the moment. But be quiet. You can't say nothing. Mm-mm. Nope, we ain't doing that. So yeah, I think Pam just needed to warm up a little bit, and now she done warmed up. She chirping around and singing out loud or whatever. I don't know what the heck is mosquitoes out. Yes, it's mosquitoes out this morning already tagging me. Gee whiz. All right, Miss Pam, I gotta go. I got to go to the garden. I gotta go and get this stuff uh planted back here in the garden. I don't want to leave her up here. Then she be done jumped out the bowl, and she ain't got no. She got wings, but she can't fly. And she keep trying to jump out this bowl. It always be something. You got plans for the day, and then something. Well, I guess that's why I go on the farm, huh? You get up and thinking you finna do this, what you gonna do for the day, and that day don't never work out the way you were expecting it to work out. Well, I know one thing. These two little baby chickens sure been eating down some food because that bottle of food that I first put in here, that thing is low down, way down. Oh my God, these mosquitoes is tagging me. Yeah, I'm thinking to put. She trying to eat the wrong stuff. She got food and everything in here, and still want to do the wrong thing. Put her on salt and pepper so she don't be jumping out of there. Y'all, I don't know what we gonna get out of these other eggs because I don't know why none of the other eggs ain't hatched. But yeah, we ain't got no other ones that hatched except for these two right here. All right, y'all. I'm trying to make little Pam a little makeshift a little makeshift um housing situation right quick. Cause she trying to jump out this bowl. This little bowl that she in. Cause she a little bit taller. So we gonna take her out of there and put her in one of our little flower pots for right now. So I don't gotta be in fear that she gonna jump out of here while I go out here and plant my peanuts right quick. I'm gonna leave her there partially up under the grow light so she can grow too. Now I just put her partially under there, half of her in there and the other half not, so she can decide which side she want to go on. But you know, she can warm up more on one side and it's a little bit cool on the other side. So that's what I'm doing with her right now and kind of set her up. Let me find her something to put her, like a little bit of water or something, and I'm trying to set her up so I can go on and continue with what I really supposed to be doing today before I got sidetracked with this right here. You gotta be over here in the heat for right now. And I set the heat lamp up for them later on tonight, I guess, or a heating pad one. I don't know just yet. And little Shay is doing just fine. Shay around here running around, having her a good time. Yeah, little Shay she doing her thing. So, but yeah, let me set this up there so. Y'all, I ain't even did no work outside yet, and I'm sweating. Like I've been out there doing yard work already. So I can only imagine what about to happen when I'm gonna go out here and dig this thing back up again for these peanuts to be going in. Hey, Ben Staker, how you doing this morning? Whew. Everything got put on pause. I was headed out there. I had my little conversation in mind, and everything, and then got sidetracked. Coming out here and seeing one of the babies was showing out this morning. So I'm like, let me get myself together. Good vibes for overflow for the month of May. Thank you for it. Thank you, thank you. All right, Shalissa, you back. I don't know if anybody went back because I asked a question. I asked a couple of questions this morning. Good morning, Nisi. I asked a couple of questions in the beginning. Listening only about to have my bath and catch a store closing sale. I know that's right. Hey, them be them best prices right there. But I was asking at the beginning, if you had something traumatic happen to you when you was little, and the people that helped put those things on you or whatever, should they be able to tell you to stop talking? Or should anybody be able to tell you to stop talking? And just to get like other people's perspective on that, but I'm gonna give mine right off the jump. I don't, at least where I am right now, not that I would be offended if somebody said in here that I do think it's a time when you stop talking about it or whatever. Because I really want to hear other people's perspective on it. But for me, at this point in my life, I don't see where I done held on to the things that I done held on to for 45, 46 years of my life. And now I'm able to talk about it or whatever. And then somebody's going to tell me that I can't talk about it. I know it wouldn't work for me. And even I came on here, I told y'all sometimes I go to sleep. I try to go to sleep at nighttime. And if a particular thing that happened to me when I was younger or happened to me point blank period, if it's keeping me up at nighttime, you best believe I'm gonna come in. I'll fire up alive at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. If it's bothering with my sleep, I feel like it's time for me to get it out of me. I've tried so many times to write a book, and I couldn't do it. So that's what brought me here to YouTube to just talk about. And I never thought that the things that I did end up talking about on here that I would talk about them, but those were the things that was bothering me. Now, can somebody come along and tell me to stop talking about it? Absolutely, they can come along and tell me. That's everybody's God-given right to be able to say that. But it's also, I feel like it's my God-given right to say I can talk if I want to. And as a matter of fact, a lot of the stories that I tell on here has got a lot to do with close relatives. And it don't mean that I do not love them, because I absolutely do love them. But the things that I'm talking about, it happened for real. And I'm ready to talk about it. I don't care what you ain't ready to do. I'm ready to talk about it. And I could still go and I can still have a conversation with them. Only they don't want to have, a conversation with you. Not that if I know that they mad or anything, because I've considered people so much in my life before. And now it's just like, not that I don't care, but I definitely can have moments where I got a I don't care attitude. I don't care how you feel about it. No, none of that. No one can tell a trauma survivor how to heal. Absolutely, absolutely not. Like, for me, I always like, you keep everything. It's almost like every situation that ever happened to me, the person that put a trauma on top of me seemed to have always been able to go back and get my mom in some kind of way to be able to give me a whooping every time. And that's one of the patterns that I realized because two, let me think. Two, now I don't even want to think about that. So but for right now, I don't even want to go down the line because it's gonna make me think about a whole bunch of things. I won't go down the line because it's 7 of them. But I'm not gonna go down the line and see, what any instances where the other ones got me with them, but it's 2 of them that um in a situation. And 2, I'm gonna say that because see, I told you this conversation leads in all kinds of stuff. Whenever you having somebody put the traumas on you that was put on to me, as a little girl, you be looking at guys and stuff and they talk to you a certain kind of way and then they try to treat you like they used to play this game back in the days. You my little girlfriend and all of that kind of stuff. And as a little girl, these people start to do certain things to you and you kind of start feeling like they're your boyfriend, so you get comfortable with them. And when I say boyfriend, like your little crush, like when you in school or something like that, you can feel like they're like your little boyfriend or something. And you start to get a little more comfortable with talking to them because now you done got to this place of where they're doing certain things to you that, okay, then I should be able to say. And it's certain things that I would say to them. Even one time I can remember telling one of the guys, you have to understand too, I was 6 and 7 years old. The people that discourage you from speaking, are they adjacent to your history? Absolutely, they are being thinking. That's what I was already saying. A lot of the things that I talk about is like these people are very close to me, and they're also people that were a part of setting up certain situations or whatever that I was in. And of course, I know it makes them uncomfortable. And I'm not telling my story to make them uncomfortable. I'm telling my story because I want to tell my story. If I wanted to make some people uncomfortable, I can say some names. But and then too, there's a lot of different channels that I went down before I started doing it, because I spoke to my family. I put it out there and let it be known that I'm going to start talking about a lot of this stuff that happened, and two, most of it because a lot of times I done thought I was been the craziest person ever for thinking that way. And that's why I hate those lines of what happens in this house stays in this house. No, some of them things that happen inside that house, the house need to be laid out there on the line so it can go ahead and shrivel up and die. It don't have to keep on continuing on. But hey, Miss Kimmy. But they are definitely a part of the story, and it makes a lot of them not want to be around me. But at this moment in my life, am I willing to make somebody comfortable right now where I'm trying to set myself free to make them feel better, when at the time that I was going through the things that I was going through, the adults in the situation was supposed to keep me safe. And now it's not. I definitely know for sure it's not about getting revenge on them or anything. Absolutely not. I'm looking for healing for me. So I'm going to talk about it. And just so happens, whenever I do talk about those things, see, I can go into my comments of the old videos and stuff that I made, and I can go and just read into the comments, and I can start talking back to the people from just inside of those videos, and I'll start a whole nother conversation and dig up other things. But I have to do it sparingly because with each time I go back and dig into that, another part of it will come up. And when I think I'm at the end of this is over with, and once I release it in that way, it's like, yes, I'm in tears when I'm saying it, but this been a work in progress for a long time, trying to get myself to a place of where I'm going to speak on it
or whatever. And then, once you speak on it, like, I ain't never going back there no more. So, but is there a time that anybody would be willing to say you shouldn't talk about it? No, I talk about it to my kids, and I'm not. Again, I said everybody's allowed to have their perspective on the situation. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna move anywhere and do anything different. Um, and some people would think I'm even crazy to say. With even the aunties that I tell y'all all of the things that happen for me, and this just my crazy thinking. I would love to sit in a room with my aunties and have this conversation face to face. But that's me. I don't think they want to sit in a room face to face with me and talk about those things that happen, me being put in all of these different situations and everything. Um I think it would be therapeutic. I think it would bring healing to a lot of things, but you know, maybe they don't find. And I think when you run from those kinds of things, you running from them because you ain't ready to take accountability for them. In my opinion, I don't know if that's true, but I think that. And again, nobody ain't said anything to me. There's nothing anybody can say to me because um, I'm willing to stand on every single thing that I've released on here. And I haven't given a whole lot of details of it, but I just want to know. Um, and when Bench Thinker said, the people that discourage you from speaking, are they adjacent to your history? Um, Very adjacent to it. Don't want you to don't want you to speak on it, but not necessarily telling you to be quiet. But I look at it as it's uncomfortable for them, and just because you have, and I'm not even mad at them anymore. I'm just I've just told my story, but again, I've seen somebody else releasing parts of their story yesterday. And when somebody else talk about their story, sometimes it can take you back down the line of your story. It can start a whole nother conversation inside of you. But every time I get ready to say something, I still give consideration to the people that I'm telling the story about. Only because they family members or they close. And sometimes, it don't have to be family. If they close enough to you where you feel like they family or whatever, for me sometimes it's hard to speak on it. It don't stop me from speaking on it. But I'm giving consideration for them. You know, even when I came on here to expose the person who kidnapped me or whatever, for somebody to say put a name on it, put his name on it or whatever, it was like scary for me. Do I tell his name? And then all of a sudden, and I'm like, I don't even know what his name is. I just know his initials or whatever. And will I call out the name? And at that moment, I was asked a question on the inside of me. Are you willing to stand in the firestorm that this could cause if you said these things? And at that moment, whenever you have traumatic situations in your life, there's a promise that you make to yourself. Hey, Shauna B. How you doing this morning? And I want you to know that I did go and get my I think you told me to get the masa mix. Now you're gonna have to walk me through it because I got my masa mix. I ain't never make it on that day, but we're gonna have to talk about that. Oh goodness, what I was saying. I don't forgot what I was saying, but yeah, I would just I hate when I lose my train of thought because I was going somewhere with that. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to at this moment be quiet, but I guess when you in a room with a lot of people that had something to do with the things that you did go through, um it can be a hard conversation. Should you let somebody shut you up? Nope. But I feel like everybody should be able to have their opinion. Just be ready that when you're trying to tell somebody to shut up their story that they telling about things that happen in their life, be ready to get whatever comes whatever comes behind that because you want if something has a bottle cap on it and it's been heat yeah, when you okay then thank you Nisi. Put a name on it. Put a name on it. You'll be able to stand in your fire about mention. Oh, okay, yeah, all right. Thank y'all so much for bringing me back around. Okay, some in one of my comments up under exposing the video idea was exposing the ugly truth. Somebody up under the video said put their full name, no initials, and something else that they put there. And while reading it, it was like poof. There was a part of me that had a little bit of a fear of, girl, you gonna start a whole bunch of stuff if you say that. And I still at this point don't know where this is going to go. I still don't know. But one thing I do know is, am I ready to stand up in the fire of it if something do happen around it? Because see, in the comment too, the person said, because if you don't put his name out there, he could be doing it to other little girls. And that was one of the biggest thoughts that I had went through in a lot of my healing process. Did he do this to somebody else? And because I'm not telling or I'm not saying anything, am I allowing it? Like I started to take accountability for if it happened to somebody else and stuff. And I was like, and the funny thing is during this time when I'm trying to and actually nothing was funny about it. I'm just kind of like talking about my process through one of the situations that I done went through because I done been in a lot of craziness. But one day we went to church, and on the way home from church, I stopped by. This was when they still had Kmart out or whatever. I stopped by a Kmart. I hadn't seen Kmart in so many years, but I'm telling you how things just line up. I stopped by this Kmart, and this was 20 years ago, but the offense happened to me when I was 6. This is just 20 years ago. So between the incident happening to me until now, and for one of the stories that I told about one of my incidents, I told y'all my the guy married my aunt's best friend. that the one that kidnapped me. So um I'm over here, and listen, I left them 2 hours back in Vero, in Vero Beach. We don't live around each other, no nothing. So I don't know where everybody is, what everybody's doing. But anyways, I'm coming from over. I'm over in into Orlando, coming from somewhere, and I just happened to ride by and I seen a Kmart, and I was like, oh, let me go over here to this Kmart. When I get inside of the Kmart, y'all ain't gonna believe who I see in this car. Cause mind you, I done told you I done moved 2 hours away from where I used to live at. I'm in Orlando now. I come from Gifford, Florida. I come here and it's not actually 2 hours. Of, back in the days it used to be 2 hours when the speed limit was, but it's like an hour and a half now. But whatever. But anyways, I go inside of the Kmart, moving along, and then I hear somebody call my name in the Walmart. And when I turn around and see her, not that I have anything bad to say about her, because she was always a very good and nice person to me. It ain't even about her. It's about the person who she married. But if she's connected to him, of course, the first thing I see is her face. I'm gonna gasp and be like, "Oh, hi, how you doing?" And I'm trying to separate her from him at this time, but I can't quit thinking. My mind going 100 miles per hour, but I'm trying to separate her from the person who she's married, and she doesn't know that he done any of these things. So I'm standing there and I'm talking to this lady, and all of a sudden, a little girl walks up on the side of her. Now, when I last knew this lady, she didn't have any kids. All of my aunt them done had kids and everything. And this one particular person has not had kids. So I was kind of just, in my limited thinking, I'm thinking, she probably ain't gonna never have any kids or whatever. She just looked like the type of person. But we standing there in the store, and all of a sudden, this little girl walks up to her and she says, "Mommy." Oh my goodness. When she walk up to her and she say, "Mommy," I lost it. I stood there and talked to her for a minute. And the next thing she says to me is, "We need to get together sometime." But all at the same time, she doesn't know that she brought her husband to my mama's funeral that had done the things to me that he done. She has no clue. And at this time, I'm going through, first you brought him there, now you want to come and visit me at my house that I done moved to now. And there's a possibility you might bring that guy that did that to me around me and my children. And one would think the first thing would come up in your mind is, hell no. But when you got somebody who's been through the things that I've been through, your mind don't quite work that way. When you've been through stuff like that, there are some very, very dark areas in your life. So when she said it, yes, my mind started going, and the first thing I started thinking about is he may come around, and I think he probably doing something to, like, my mind just starts going, just talking the whole time. Oh my God. I didn't talk. I didn't tell nobody. Now he probably did to his daughter. My mind started going everywhere. But then my mind paused on, she just gave me an offer. She asked me, we should set up something so we can do something together. And in a blink of an eye, evil had stepped in because I want payback at this moment. I told her, yeah, we should. And at that moment, it started a plotting in my mind of how this day was going to go. So I don't want to dig or tell too much of what my thought process was in that situation, because I don't want to encourage nobody to go down that dark rabbit hole. But it ain't what people be thinking, like you just go through that and then you just graze over it and you get past it like that. Mm-mm. No, because see, I wanted that day. I wanted that day to happen. And I think all it would have took was a wandering eye. That's all I wanted, was a wandering eye. That's what I'll say. I wanted to see a wandering eye. And just that an eye could graze across, even one of my kids could gave me all the ammunition I needed to do whatever dark space my mind was in at that time. So this is why I say you never know what a person done been through, how traumatic it was for them, for you to be able to say, don't talk about it. Because imagine I feel that way standing in front of her and I'm plotting in my mind and I ain't able to say that to nobody. But at the time, I got 7 children. I got 7 children and I'm ready to put. Because see, if I do the things that I was plotting up in my mind, then I would just trade places with where the person that offended me shouldn't be. And I would be putting myself there in a prison, because now, and in several different prisons, because now I'm going to make a decision to get him back for what he did back then. And in that decision, I'm also going to leave my kids out here for the world or whatever else to happen to them. But I wouldn't have a say so in it. I wouldn't be here to protect my kids, essentially doing the same thing of how I felt. I wasn't protected as a kid. So I would, in a different way, looking to put myself and my kids in that same situation. But because I was able to get around people that was willing to hear me, and then when I couldn't find enough people that could hear me, I came on YouTube and I screamed it to the top of my lungs with tears and all. So should you allow somebody to tell you to shut up? Not at all. Not in my opinion. Especially when you have ones that you're supposed to be protecting. Because see, sometimes opening your mouth and being able to say the things that's going wrong with you can be the very thing that save you from doing all of those extra things. And yes, Shauna. Yes, Shauna. The corn cakes. Yes, ma'am. I got my masa mix. ready to go. But y'all see how we supposed to be out here playing peanuts and stuff, but this was a thought for the past 2 days. And then for someone to release part of their book. Um Made me just think even more about it. And not even just from my point of view, from all points of views. Just wanting to know why do people want you to shut up? Of course, there's some want you to shut up because they are absolutely a part of hey. There's some people that are directly attached to it and they're uncomfortable. So, of course, they don't want to hear you telling about that right there because that don't put me in a good light. There's a whole bunch of things going on in that one situation. So, but my mind just began to think about all of those things. Like even right now, I even be thinking about it, and I have to remove myself from even thinking about it sometimes. With the with the way that I talk right now, if my mom was here, what kind of conversations would we be having? Because I know in the place that I'm in right now is I don't think we would have been like arguing or whatever, but I know she would have had a lot of tears because I wouldn't be able still at this point right now in my life, I still um because my dad, he the only one that's here. So I try not to dump too much on him. And so that involves staying away. Staying away because that's what's on the forefront of my mind when I see him. So it even in those situations, it's hard to shift that because right now I feel like he the one is in need. He wants his kids to call and talk, but when the only thing on the front of your mind is what life was like growing up, how you get around that and move around that and pretend like it didn't happen. And it's hard to move around that. So I just kind of like keep my distance. And then sometimes, like, if you're trying to explain something to another part of the family that ask you, well, why you act like that? And then you start to explain to them, well, when I try to tell y'all why I act those ways, I feel like y'all start to make excuses. Especially like, let's say like my dad has a sister, and y'all, I be trying not to cry and put no tears out, but it is what it is. Continue to speak is healthy and healing. Also, you're helping others. Well, I appreciate that. Do you think she would like living with you in the garden? You are being a mouthpiece for others. Do I think who would like to live with me in the garden? But when people ask you why do you do things the way, so like my dad has a sister, and hold on just 1 second. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. Hopefully, um if y'all can hear, I hope y'all can hear me again. It was a phone call came through. But my dad has a sister, and I talk to her every now and then, but after a while talking to her and not going into full details with her about all of the things that happened to me, well, I'm sure she can look on here and she can see now, or she see me over on TikTok or whatever, and she know um some of the things that happened to me. But I feel like if you ask me why do I do things a certain way, and then I start to tell you why I do things the way that I do them, and then you start making excuses for your brother, that pisses me off. But not so much that I don't like her or no none of that stuff. It's just right now I'm telling you about what happened to me when I was 6 and 7 years old. I don't give a damn what he was doing back then. It was his job to protect me. I don't want to hear your stories about his problems that he had or whatever. I was the kid. And now you in the situation that you in, you want me to care about you. And right now in this time of my life, I feel like you didn't care about me. So how do I shift that? Not that I have hate for them or no nothing, but don't question me about what the way I do stuff. And when I explain to you I did it, then you downplay what I went through. I don't have time for that. Korean, do I think my mom would want to be in the garden with me? Yeah. But definitely in this time of my life, I don't know if she would be able to handle the kind of conversations that I would want to have with her. And I know a lot of y'all hear me soft spoken and stuff like that, but I have to be honest about who I really could and can be. I've been known that somebody asks me a question and I'm talking and then I get so deep into it, people want me to shut up. I get enraged. I get enraged when I'm trying to get something out of me that's stuck on the inside of me and somebody's in the room telling me to shut up. I start screaming. I start punching stuff. Because it seems like as long as I can flow and talk about it, I'm fine. But when somebody trying to stop me and shut me up, that take me back to a time when you ain't able to say nothing. And I'm not that little girl no more. So I know that my aunt, like, she want to have conversations with me. Sometimes I can see her. She calling my phone. I don't really know what she calling me about. I don't have no hate or anything against her, but I make a conscious decision now. It's just like sometimes I see somebody calling me. And you know I don't make it no secret. I can see people calling me, but I kind of look at the phone and I'll be like, I ain't got enough money in my bank account to talk to them at this time. You know what I'm saying? I don't have it to give, so I don't answer the phone. Or if I'm doing something at that time, I consider what I have to do in that moment before. Oh, go ahead and answer the phone. Used to, I answer the phone for everybody, give every single thing that I've got on the inside of me till I'm completely depleted and giving it to. So now it's like I look at it and I'm just like, yeah, my mind be thinking, well, what if something going on with your grandma? Or what if this is happening? What if that is happening? I just have to sometimes turn around and they say sometimes you got to encourage your own self. Sometimes I have to go right on back and say, okay, then what if something is going on with grandma or whoever else it is? What can I do about it? I can't do anything about it because what's going to happen is going to happen. I ain't in control of none of that. But what I am going to do in this moment is I'm going to consider me. And right now, whoever that is calling on the phone. If I don't want to answer my phone, I'm not going to answer it. And if you ask me what I was doing when you called me earlier, you probably don't want to answer what I do because I'm going to tell you the truth. I wasn't doing nothing. I just didn't feel like talking to nobody on the phone would be my answer. I literally be telling the truth. Like, you know how sometimes you can get a phone call and you be making up stuff as to why you didn't answer the phone. Child, I just ain't feel like talking to her. I turn the phone off, shut everything down so I don't get no phone calls or no nothing. I'm just truly in a place of trying not to deplete myself. And so I know talking about situations that happen to you will stop you from doing some of the pressures that's behind having those traumatic things happen to you. Because I'm telling you, it comes with pressure. So again, I'll say, if somebody do want you to shut up about the things that happened to you when you was a kid, that was traumatic. Every time they tell you to shut up, I say scream louder. Would my mom want to be out in the garden with me? She probably would. Oh, even with my dad right now, it's like I wrote him that letter telling him about all that stuff that happened to me. And what I can't get past is that I still haven't been acknowledged. Still haven't. Which makes it hard for me to acknowledge him and the things that he going through. Not that I don't love him or know nothing, but I've been giving my consideration out to everybody my whole life. Now it's about us. It's about me. So I can't control what happens over there. I can't make everybody happy over there before making me happy. I've tried it before. I don't want to be fake. I ain't gonna even pretend. So yeah, all of those things be running through my mind, but it's hard for me to talk to my auntie. But two, it could be hard for her to hear me talking, say all of the things that I'm ready to say, and tell her how your brother did not protect me when I was a kid. And I can remember at one time I hearing my mama say something to him about something that went on with me. And he had the same reaction that he did when I found out I was pregnant. When he found out I was pregnant, punch the table, get up and walk out. Like you ain't doing nothing because you don't want to address the real thing that happened. Nobody asks you no questions or no nothing. They just assume that they know everything or know nothing. Shoot. See, I almost said some words that just then because if one of my kids show up and tell me that they pregnant at 14 years old, and you done heard other stories before, I can remember my mama telling him something about something had happened to me before. Which incident she was telling him about, I don't know, but I remember hearing it. Then at 14, I pop up pregnant. And nobody ain't asking me no questions about how did I get here? How did this start? Why did this start? And you know, I don't want to bash anybody because I'm trying to put on somebody else with the things that I would do with mine. It's only one time, and I have grown. I'm talking about grown adult kids. Only because one of my daughters, like, I haven't really been around her that much or whatever, and you know, she kind of give me like a real nasty attitude or whatever. And I promise you on everything, I don't owe her nothing. in my opinion. I don't owe her anything. And if I did, it'll probably be an apology about something, and I'm willing to give that. Just tell me what it is, and I apologize for it. But she is the only one that ever showed up in my face before. And because she ain't married, that I would not ask the question, who you pregnant from? And she grown, grown. But it's just certain things I'm going back and I'm weighing it against the way that I do things. I don't know. I don't know my parents, them whole story and what they grew up with, but I just about can imagine that however your parents brought you up, you can definitely rest assured that they went through a lot of the things that you went through. But ain't nobody willing to talk about it. They just want to pretend like you're crazy because you're the one talking about it. And then the thing is, when you start talking about it, you begin to find out that it's 500 more people right here in your family, and they all sitting next to it, and the shit done happened to all of them. It just ain't nobody saying nothing. So you feel like we protecting each other by we all sitting here and not saying anything about it. Then you get later on down the line, we all sitting in this same old room, we partying together at this big old family reunion, and everybody in here done been touched by Mr. Joe over here, and everybody fixing him plates and shit, letting him get away with everything right here. And us ones that was on the receiving end of it, we got to sit there and pretend like Joe over there is Santa Claus, and we all sitting on his lap with a sausage link in his pocket. See, um, like I said, scream to the top of your lungs. Don't let nobody tell you to stop talking. So see, I try not to touch on this area a whole lot because I don't want the tears. But my tears that come let me know, girl, you still got some ways of healing to go. And I'm not ashamed about that. I hate the tears. I hate them. I don't have no problem with talking about it. I'm like, I feel like even even sometimes, see, I need to be careful about what I be thinking about because I told y'all sometimes I don't know. Like I feel like I can forgive somebody for something, but like I don't really know if I actually. I'm the kind of person like I want to be and I don't know. It could be just me. I don't know. I feel like I want to be challenged in that area. If I feel like I forgive somebody, I want to come face to face with them to know if I truly forgiven you. Now, I'm not saying that I forgave anybody for that. I'm talking about for things that I say that I've forgiven somebody for. But the one thing that I do know, see that last experience with the kidnapper coming to my mama's funeral. I don't know how it would turn out if I ever came face to face with him again, but it was like the last time that I saw a picture of him. He had what is it? The oxygen he had the oxygen things in his nose. uh like he was sickly like or whatever. And when I seen him, being that he had the oxygen mask on or whatever, I looked at him in the sympathy I usually feel for people that are sick. I didn't have for him. But again, I told you I like to be challenged. So I just feel like since things were done so boldly the way that they were, he kidnapped me, bought me back, I got a whooping. And then he shows up again 17 years later, pretending like I done forgot and I wasn't strong enough to say nothing then. You starting to hear my thought process of, I actually want it to happen again. I want to come face to face with him again. And I know it might sound crazy to y'all, but I feel like I need that. I need to come back face to face with him. And the reason I need it is because I want to know that when I come back face to face with him, that I'm going to do something different than what I did the first 2 times. I always wanted the opportunity again for him to stand in my face and for him to put those arms out, what's reaching to give you a hug. Because I want to be able to say no. I need that. I need to be able to say no. That I don't want to hug you. I feel like I need that. And everybody else would be like, why you want to come face to face with somebody who did that to you? I just want to know that I'm strong enough to do something different than what I did the other times, where he was able to physically touch me again and walk away, and I go home and beat me up behind closed doors. No, I want to give him what belongs to him, and I want to be able to walk away in peace. At least that's the way I imagine it in my head. I want to know that in the physical, that I would do something different that wouldn't cause me to go home and take it out on me the way that I did it. So when I say, like, I like to be challenged in those ways of like knowing, do I truly feel what I'm saying I'm doing? And not that I'm saying that I forgive him. I want the opportunity to do what I wasn't able to do when I was a kid. And I feel like that way with a whole bunch of my situations. I want vindication. And not in those ways of when you sit down and you thinking about the stuff. And Miss Coffee, I don't even know if that's what my response would be. I don't know what my response would be. What I do want to know is, I just want to know, because you remember, my last encounter with him was to walk up to me in a moment where I'm grieving. And the last time that I was standing in front of him, he was able to kidnap me, bring me back, and I got a whooping. The next time that I see him, he was able to show up at my mom's house on the day that we buried her. We just left the graveyard. He comes to my mom's house, but he's being loved behind his wife. So he has to go with the flow and show up. But I didn't have to accept the hug from him. I could have stood in him at that moment, but I wasn't strong enough. So I want my opportunity. And I know it may not make sense to anybody else, but it made perfect sense to me. Because it's like he's been able to take something away from me every time. And I just want to be in a different situation. Well, who is this? Keep stopping right here. But anyways, um, and I'm sorry, y'all, if I miss anything, and they don't want to hear it due to the guilt. These are generational, exactly, generational behaviors, and that's why I find it very hard for me. I find it very hard for me to who Jesus. I find it very hard to pretend that when certain things come up, um I don't miss the opportunity to say what it is that I need to say. A lot of times I second guess myself on things just because I think nobody doesn't want to hear them. And me sitting here on YouTube, I feel like I don't really be saying nothing to anybody because after a while it starts to look like it starts to look and feel like I'm talking to the wall because ain't nobody in here with me. So I have to look at it like um, I'm on the phone having a conversation with somebody. You know, that babbling on thing that I be telling y'all I be doing. But just going down the thought process of I need I almost listen, it's almost like I sit and dream about the day. And I'm trying to move away from this, but I ain't and I can't. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Ever since I seen that picture of him with that oxygen mask on, it's like I'm waiting on the day that he in the hospital. This is a dream that I literally had. He in the hospital and he on his final bed. In some kind of way I get invited to the hospital. It's like not like a sympathy thing, but I almost feel like I need this for like closure. But then too, not want to stay in the box. What if I don't never get that? What if I don't ever get that chance? But I'm speaking it out and I'm letting it be known that I want it. I want to know that when it came down to it, would he say, no, I didn't do it? I don't know what'll happen if he had the opportunity to say that. I don't know if he'll say, yeah, um, I did it. But the one thing that I didn't expect was up under that video, there is somebody who comes from the same place that I come from in Guilford, Florida. And she is a little girl that my mama used to babysit when she was little. She went up under that comment and she said, oh my gosh, I'm so heartbroken. And she's an adult with children her own self now. I can't believe that happened to you. And the next statement she makes is, it runs in their family. Now, if you have somebody tell you in your comments up under your video, it runs in their family, and I know everybody knows this family. If she said it runs in their family, then that means somebody else in their family did something to her, and she ain't saying a whole lot. And that's why I say I'm very careful and selective about going over there and looking at those comments. But I know there's purpose in me going back and venture down those lines because it opens up other areas for you to deal with. And this is one of the things that I never wanted to know, was that somebody that was doing the things to me. And remember, I said there's 7 of them. 3 of them in one family. Of all people, because I'm telling you, sometimes people look at these people and they think these are monsters and stuff on the street. I told y'all in one of my videos that the stabbing at the bar. I told you the girl that was with the girl I was out at the club with. She got when we were waiting on the ambulance to come. The guy that stepped out of the ambulance was one of the guys that did stuff to me when I was a little kid. And then I'm there, pauses like everywhere I turn in life, like I can't escape it. I'm forced to deal with it. And you think because you're the one that poured this on top of somebody that it just goes away like that? I can sit here all day and I can talk about this subject over and over and over again. The only thing that's going to stop me from talking about it is the tears. I'm irritated with the tears, which make me move away from this conversation. Um, but y'all, I feel like I need my day. I feel like I need it. Like I've had opportunities. Well, a couple of them I haven't like ran back into, but it's like little things that's in her. Like I told y'all, one day I'm talking to my sister on the phone. She has somebody in the background that keeps asking all of these questions and stuff about me. Oh, is she this? Is she that? Did she used to live over here? Did she used to live? And this person just running down questions, but I'm trying to have a conversation with my sister that I haven't talked to in forever and a day. It doesn't dawn on me then to like find out who is this person that's back there that's asking her all the questions. Because it could be anybody. I know everybody in Gifford almost. You know what I'm saying? It can be anybody, but I ain't focused on them talking to my sister who I haven't talked to in more than a year, more than 2 years, maybe. It's probably been about a year and a half that I had talked to her. I'm focused on my sister, but see, like the next day or something, like it dawns on me that this person was in the backseat asking all those questions. And she asked me the question, and my mind went back to it. I don't even know why I asked it. I guess just conversational sake, it comes out. I was like, who was that in the backseat asking all of those questions the other day? Because then it hit me too. I remember him saying, "Don't put that damn camera on me." And I'm like, who is that in the back seat? And it's like all of those little things that are triggering at one time, like it's happening, but not happening around a whole bunch of people and doing nothing but just different little instances like that. And like, I'm like, and my sister doesn't have a clue. I'm much older than my sister. So she got somebody who ride in the back seat of her that they got that date great thing is where like you with somebody or something and then not with them, but like you hanging out with them and all of a sudden like it was like a plan that was hatched for the room to get empty and leave the two of you all in that room alone. And then you sitting there and you just laughing and chopping it up, having a good time talking to this person, and then all of a sudden it turns to you being ripped out of your clothing and stuff you own. See, this person is in the car with her being very comfortable with talking to my sister, asking her questions about me. But he trying to get an understanding because he want to make sure. But then all at the same time yelling at her to not put, because we talking on camera. We're on camera phone. He's yelling at her to not put that damn phone on him. But why is he saying that? Oh, you saying that because already you know. You know what it is. That's why you would be even embarrassed for the camera to be turned around to you. Yes, and I couldn't control myself that I told my sister, yeah, he don't want you to turn the camera around on you because he know what he did to me. And I lost it on the phone. But there are so many different things that's going on back there and all of this stuff that keep on happening. I'm just like, all of the times that I ran into these people or whatever, it's like I've had consideration for them. And only this time it's scary for a different reason because I'm not that person anymore. Like I'm on here talking to thousands of people, regardless of whether you all see like people into my chat. I haven't been doing lives that long, and I definitely ain't been consistent with them. And I be all over the place. A lot of times, I don't have no specific time. I come on here when I feel like coming on here. But my shorts, I tell them, I drop them. And every now and then I come on here and have a conversation. You just don't even know. Let me get into a conversation with somebody is like, it could be an all-nighter. But yeah, I want my opportunity. I do. I can't even lie. Well, somebody would say, well, why would you want to talk to the person that I don't know. I don't know. But I want it because I want to know what would I do with it. There's a lot of people that I want an opportunity for that did, said, tried different things with me. Of course, I want another opportunity to see what would happen. I really do. But is God gonna give it to me? Is that a part of my process? I don't know. But what I was talking about was when you have had something traumatic done to you, should you allow somebody to come along and tell you to shut up as you healing in that process? And again, I said, hell no. Scream it out louder. And regardless of the tears that you see, I do know that every time that I talk about it, there's another level of healing that comes along with it. Another level of healing that comes along with it. It's just the tears for me are aggravating. So, um, yeah, Miss Coffee, just even thinking about it. Yeah, you know, and I think a lot of the angry part, at least in my limited thinking, because I can say I can say that I wouldn't have that reaction, but I'm a new person right now at this moment. I've already went through the disrespect of where a person can do what they did to me, the things that happened to me, and then you can come back and throw your arms around me with no consequence, and nobody ain't said anything to you, no nothing, and you're fine. I've been the only one that's been going through. I don't know what gonna happen. I wouldn't even tell nobody. I probably would take security or something, or they would it not for them, because I have no fear of any of these people. When I tell you zero fear, this one of those things what I'm telling you, to come face to face with one of them, and if one of them wanted to cause me harm because of my talking, this would be one of the things what I'm be telling you. I'm willing, and sometimes it hurt to be able to say this, but there's a promise that when you go through something like this, you make to yourself. And to be able to stand on it and to say what I want to say, baby, I'll put my life on the line in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. If one would say, if you don't stop talking, I'll take you out. Lord, take me on this day. So because I don't know what can happen on one of those days, and I'm telling you, I want that opportunity. I really do. I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I don't know what part of the hill. Being that I ain't never been down this line before, I can say that I'm completely healed from something, but I don't know what my reaction would be. So would I say they should have security there on such a thing like that? Or maybe I don't need it. I don't know. I don't know what I would be doing, but I would be lying to myself if I say I could possibly control myself, because I'm telling you, it's hard for me to control myself when I'm trying to get the story out and somebody wants me to pause to ask a question. And sometimes when I'm paused to be asked a question, when it comes down to my family, I feel like sometimes they challenging the story that I'm telling. And they're not actually challenging the story. They're trying to get the information or learn more about the story. But sometimes I receive it as, you're challenging what I'm saying. You're again somebody who is not listening. And I'm willing to admit that from time to time I can have that response. So for me to be able to sit in front of you and tell you that I may not go ham, I may not cuss about it or nothing, child, please, I ain't even ready to tell no lie like that. So, but I want my opportunity. It doesn't change my mind from that. That's like me. My reactions are slow or just not present at the time when I needed to react to major things that happened to me, but it's coming together now. Yep. And it's a part of the process. It's a part of the process, especially when you're coming from a place where you haven't been able to talk before. Like it's a learning process. So, you all make sure you hit. Okay, yeah. Thank you for that, Shalissa. Um, you have to heal. Don't feel away. Yeah, I'm telling Miss Coffee. It only come down to is the shedding of the tears. That's it. And just if I didn't have that part, I think I can do it all. But hold on. Okay, y'all, I was getting all nasally and everything. But okay, y'all, I think our little chickadee here is she is doing little Pam is doing a little bit better. So I'm gonna put Pam back in here with the other one because it's done warmed up for the day. So you see she moving around really good. I think she was just real cold this morning. So they back in there happy to be around each other. You see the excitement of them being back in there together. So they doing fine. And I'm gonna get ready to walk out to the garden to get our peanuts put into the ground. Now we done had our conversation for the day. um so we getting another 30 days alive. Yes, Shauna. Just want you to smile. Absolutely. I'm gonna smile. We gonna cry some tears, but mostly we gonna let um the smiles outweigh the tears. Um for sure. So I'll come back in there and check on the chickens after a while, but I'm gonna go out here and set y'all up and let y'all see me get to work on this here peanut. So I'm gonna shoot for it, Miss Coffee, but I don't know if I want to make another commitment. That's my only thing. I don't know if I want to make another commitment. Now, if I make it another 30 days, I'm going to be so proud. Actually, this morning I woke up and for me to be able to type 5-1 in the chat. 5-1, y'all see the chickens we walking past them. Hey chickens. For me to write type 5-1 as my date for today brought the hugest smile on my face because I ain't never been able to come on here. I would just be like, child, please, I ain't feel like doing nothing. I ain't had nothing to say, or I didn't want to say nothing today. So I was just like, my whole attitude was, child, I just do this whenever I get ready to. So I just don't want to make a commitment and say to you all because, if I say it out loud, I'm gonna do another month. Then I gotta follow through with it. So I can't make myself out of no liar. So I'm like, do I want to say that? Nope. But I'm gonna show. I'm gonna aim for it though. I'm gonna aim for it. I ain't gonna. I'm gonna try definitely not to fall back into that place of Shauna. You won't show up for. You ain't been on here for a whole week. Where you been at? Somewhere sitting being depressed, trying to go back to where I just left at, y'all. I'm putting on my boots right now. Ever since the other day, I came out here where Miss Coffee was like, "Where your boots at, Sean?" And I said, "I'm gonna put them on." I put on my boots and ended up where your boots at, Sean. I was out there cutting them limbs out of that tree, and the next thing I knew that I was standing in a pile of barbed wire. It was wrapped around my entire leg, the entire boot. Had I not had those boots on, I wouldn't even realize that I was standing in the midst of that I was stepping into that trap, because I'd never been in that part of the garden before, so I didn't know that it was some barbed wire that was up under the ground, but it was a pile of it there. And I felt something scratch my leg, like in the back of where your knee bends at. Looked down around, and I had barbed wire wrapped all around my whole boot right there. And had I had on just tennis shoes on my slides or something, that I'd have been cut up really bad. So you're doing amazing, dear sis. You really are going through your process. Yep, I'm trying to. Your nephew just cleared out some more space for me to plant. Look at you, girl. LOL. I know we gotta do a live one night. We gotta do a live one night where we do the panels or whatever, so we can get up there, like we can show our different plants and stuff that we doing, and of course have other conversations or whatever, but do the panel or whatever, so like we can ask whatever questions, and instead of being able to text back and forth or talk about it, because everybody send me like their little pictures and stuff, and I absolutely love it. But to be able to, because sometimes you can ask a question when you texting and stuff like that, and it not be the same as as when you able to get on the phone and talk about it. You can go in more depth about it or whatever. But I need to set up a night that we do that. So then, and not only the garden, but just different things that we want to get different perspectives on it, because I know sometimes I be thinking about stuff one way, but I be thinking about it from my perspective, but I be wanting to know other people's perspective on the way that they would deal with situations. Like, shoot, we can come up with situations that they don't necessarily have to do with any of us, but they can be situations that we don't seen before with our own eyes. And let's just put it out there and be like, what would you do? We could call the sessions, what would you do? It can be one topic. If you was in this situation right here, what would you do? And sometimes, when you ask, what would you do? You always got a situation where you done had something similar to what the person talking about. And you was like, I done been in that one right there. But, another way of learning from each other. But, to be able to come and if especially we beginning to learn how to grow in our garden and all of that type of stuff like that, it's always good to, because I know I love to have, whenever I'm trying to do something and I don't know what I'm doing, I like to have somebody who I can just not be like aggravating to them, but whenever I got a question, I'm able to ask them, you know what I'm saying, and ask them comfortably. So we wanted to be a safe place that people can come and ask questions. We already make sure that we don't have a lot of foolishness over here. But yesterday, Miss Coffee was screaming alert yesterday all day. She said the trolls was out. And they was out yesterday. We even had the karate chop somebody yesterday. So and we don't usually have much of that over there, but over here, but we had some trolls roaming through yesterday. Miss Coffee was definitely on alert. Shauna, where's Shalissa? They was calling for you yesterday, Shalissa. That's over. I have your IG. Oh, yep. That will be fun. So we'll plan out one night but the only thing is like, I feel like when you're using StreamYard now, it's like YouTube doesn't like share your stuff out like whatever. If you use StreamYard or whatever, it's like different for me. I can like I have 16,000 subscribers, and I promise you I ain't paid for not one of them. They just all showed up via because I got some shorts and stuff that got 1 million views on it or whatever, but all of them came that way. But I find it hard that if I'm having a live or something like that, and I got 16,000 subscribers, like where's the notifications going or whatever? So I don't know. That's just some questions that I have. But anyways, it just seems like that's kind of weird. But okay. Remind me I would like to join the live and show my little deck garden. Alrighty then, let's go. And that would be amazing to have somebody there that's doing each of those things. You know what I'm saying? You growing on the deck, you growing inside the house, just growing from different kind of ways. Are you just using your windows to grow? That would be awesome to have people from each one of those different areas to come on and show, because then that's showing and proving to the people. No, it really don't have an excuse not to be growing something. You can grow anywhere, including in your life. But first I gotta stay in the chat for real, for real. The opening starts at 11 a.m. Oh yeah, for you to do the you out getting the wheels and deals of the stores that's closing down. I think I see something was closing down here in Orlando, getting ready to go out of business. I need to go and look that up. I used to keep up with, honey, when I was doing couponing. Let me tell you something. When Dixie went out of business here in Orlando, honey, they went out of business during the time that I was super duper couponing. Honey, I remember one of my pictures. I had my whole trunk. I had a Suburban then. The whole back of my Suburban was filled with. They was getting rid of the last bit of their ground beef. They start the sale and then everything get a lesser price on it or whatever. Ooh, child, I was finna say, I know this is not a snake that I'm over here seeing again, honey. The gopher turtle is back here walking around in the garden this morning. I'd rather the gopher turtle than for it to be a snake. Amen. Okay. But when Dixie was going out of business, honey, I got a picture inside the back of my truck. I had, and them Tide coupons had came out, and I think at this time everything in the store was like 20 or either 30% off. Honey, I was whipping them coupons out, and I got ground beef galore, Tide. I took every Tide they had on the shelf in there because I had the coupons to go along with it. And when Dixie had coupons back then, so if you get a coupon from the store and you get a coupon from the P&G, you can put the two coupons together and on top of that 20 to 30% discount. Honey, I think I walked out of there with probably like $600 or $700 worth of stuff, and I think I paid somewhere along the line of like $12. And I had a whole, honey, I can't even tell y'all how them days of couponing. Ooh, I still got a lot of the stuff that I had, that I got from couponing and everything. But yes, goodness, those. Ooh, that was the day. I'm driving. Soon as I get settled, I'm gonna call about a manufactured home. Oh, Aisha, man, you talking about? I done seen some nice manufactured homes. Yeah, go ahead and look you up, one girl, and plant us a garden back there. Plant us a garden. Plant him some food. She had us stressed out with them cute. Listen, I used to go to a whole nother town. I used to go back to Vero and gather up my family from Vero. I'd be like, hey, y'all want some body wash and stuff? You better come on then. Well, what we gotta do? Don't worry about it. When we get to the store, I'm gonna hand you this. This when I used to have like 100 of the same coupons and everything and stuff like that. And no, I wasn't cheating. I was literally getting those coupons. I was out doing the work. I was picking up, going to people's houses that had the little free coupon booklet out there, and they didn't want them. They were just running them over and stuff. Honey, I was going to get them coupons, and me and my kids was cutting them things out and going right to the store, getting us plenty. But during those times, I'm telling you, it wasn't nothing to go and put it together. But I, go to the store. Y'all want some body wash? Especially when they had that Dial body wash be on buy one get one free and the coupon out. Baby, you talking about free body wash? I remember one time I think I had like 10 bins of Dial body wash filled to the max. Not only standing up, but the ones laying on top of it and everything. 10 bins of them. Had so many of them, and they had that buy one get one free. I took my whole entire family. We just went from one Publix because each person can get 8. You're allowed to get 8 of the same ones. You can only use 8. So I'm gonna give this person 8, and I'm gonna give this person 8. It'll be like 6 of us. And that's 40. That's 40. That 6 of us, and everybody get 8 coupons. What that is, my ad name that right there. That is 6 times 48. It's 40. That's 48 coupons right there. Knowing when I'm riding around, I got hundreds of coupons. Go get yours. They buy one get one free. $3.88 when you got a coupon that say a coupon. If they buy one get one free, and it says so you got 2 of them, and they $3 back then. They was $3.83. They buy one get one free, so that already took $3 off one of them. But you got a coupon that say that you can take $1.50 off of each bottle of Dial soap, which means that take away $3, leaving 83 cents. So you paying 80. So you paying 40 cents for a bottle of Dial, and then on top of it, back then when the Publix had the thing that you buy X amount of groceries and you get $20 off of them, honey child. You walk out of the store and Publix will be paying you back on your way walking out of the store. Them the kind of deals. Amen to that, Aisha. Amen to that. In Jesus' name. We was real respectful about asking people about them newspapers that was in the driveway. Yep. We done got cussed out a couple of times for them too, but thank you for your services. And we accept it. We'll be starting a guard. Okay then. I'm so ready. I'll be glad when you do it. I second that motion with you, Aisha. Yes. Amen to that. So okay, let me get back here. We head back to our other part of the garden. Back here where we already had peanuts at one time. And squirrels dug every last one of them up. So in my opinion, we didn't get not one peanut. And I ain't finna be back here with the little petty thing. Oh, y'all, I was choking this thing. I ain't finna be back here with the petty thing trying to count. Oh, you got one right there. Or you got one right there. Or you got one. Y'all don't see nothing green in here except for some grass. So now I gotta go through and redig these trenches out. And these are our peanuts that they soaked for the past couple of days. And let me show you what you see. That little, I'm finna show you. You see that little, let me see, can I focus in? Why is it not focusing? Shalissa, text our Army veteran and tell her that I'm on live right now. She just sent me a message. If you don't mind, please and thank you, ma'am. Y'all see that? That's where the flour comes out of the peanut. Right there. So we got a whole bunch of these that we got. Y'all see all these peanuts in this big, but This what we finna get ready to do. We finna, and I'm finna take this apron from around me for right now because I don't need nothing swinging and banging on me while I'm getting this done. Cause I know this finna be hot, 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 hot. Okay. Okay. Thank you, sister. Thank you very much, Shauna. Thank you so much. How dare I come out here with no water? That's another thing, y'all. Make sure y'all be getting your water in when you come out in the garden. It's definitely here. This Florida sun don't be playing. I'm trying to die here. I have two blueberry trees. One is giving 1,000, giving thousands, and the other zero. I have to go harvest. Alrighty then for the blueberries, Gary. What you be making with blueberries? What you be making? I hate blueberries by themselves. I don't know why, but guess what? I love a good blueberry muffin or something like that. But for whatever reason, I can't eat no blueberry by itself. Maybe I need to try a little sprinkle of sugar or something on it. I don't know. But you have a beautiful day too, Shauna, and thanks again for coming through. It's one of the days when I need to have the sprinkler running. Why you going? Well, you all, I'm gonna end live, and I could possibly see you all later on today. But I hope y'all have an amazing day. If we don't see each other again, and we are gonna do that live where we're gonna be able to come up on the panel and everything and have us a good talking. So until next time, beautiful people, I will see you all later. Y'all have a good day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is Life with Tashana over here, where we believe in growing in the garden and growing in real life. This is the home of the high class gardeners. Well, that just means we believe in growing something at all times. It just means we don't play with no bugs, worms, and no snakes. And that's in real life. So if you're interested in growing in that way, then come on over here and hang with us, growers. But until later, I will talk to y'all on the next go round. 30 more days. Let's get it.